Good day, guys. Y'all are welcome to the Alpha Lion Entrepreneur channel. I remain my humble self, Eminent Augusta. So today, what are we going to be discussing on? Today, we are going to be discussing on how to create a creative and powerful imagination. You heard me right. How to create a creative and powerful imagination. Now, this is the second month of the year, February. How well have you gone down on your goals, on executing the income generating activity, on executing the strategy towards achieving your goal? Now, let's take a look at what imagination is. Now, imagination is more important than knowledge. Albert Einstein always said that imagination is key to knowledge. Now, for knowledge can be limited based on the information you acquire. But guys, guess what? Whereas imagination is your ability to embrace the entire world, is your ability to stimulate power. Imagination gives birth to evolution, because whatever that you see that is created in today's world, it was first thought in the mind. So imagination is a word of its own. It gives you the ability to think, to as in stretch beyond born, think, like create things in your mind, things that have never been seen, but you made it a reality in your mind. The aeroplane we are seeing today was someone's imagination. The car we are seeing today is someone's imagination. The house we see today is someone's imagination. The airport we saw today is someone's imagination. Every venture we are all seeing and enjoying today first came from someone's imagination. The earrings I'm wearing was someone's imagination. The hair I'm wearing is someone's imagination. My nails is someone's. Everything in this life that we're enjoying was someone's imagination. So let's look deep into what imagination is. Now, imagination is the act of forming new ideas or images. It's the act of forming new ideas or concepts of images that are not present to our senses, but you created it in your mind. Whereas knowledge are facts, knowledge are informations, knowledge are skills that you acquire through experience or education. Knowledge are information or skills you acquire through experience or through education. But you see, imagination are ideas, images created in the mind. Now, when we talk about imagination, let's look forward to a third meaning of imagination. Guys, your ability to understand the different terminology of imagination will give you will put you in a powerful position where you know that you can create and destroy. You can create and destroy. Yes, so let's talk about imagination. Now, imagination is also referred to as our vision. Yes, vision, like what you see in your mind. Steve Harvey will tell you that imagination is the key to everything in life. Yes, that's what Steve Harvey will tell you. He said imagination is a common attraction God has in stock for you. So guys, imagination is vision. Imagination leads to the creation of what? An idea, the creation of an image, the creation of an object. And this is because God created each and every one of us in his image and likeness. So all of you will agree with me that you are a mini God on earth. So meaning, if we are created in God's image and likeness, then we are mini gods on earth. Now, God, if you go to the book of Genesis chapter 1, he said, let there be light. He thought about light and he said, let there be light, and there was light. He thought about animal and he said, let there be. Whatever he said, let there be, there was. Meaning God himself was what? A creator. God is a creator. Only God can create. And when God creates, he puts it in our imagination. And that's why Steve Covey will tell you that imagination is a common-like attraction God has in stock for you. So whatever your mind, whatever your brain can picture, can imagine, know that God has created it already and put in your mind. Only for you to see. It's not for everybody. Only for you to see. And that is why it is your duty to avoid talking to dream killers and dream stealers. Now, when God puts an imagination in your head only for you to see, it's now your duty to make it a reality. Guys, are you getting me? Now, it's now your duty to make it a reality. Your ability to know that God creates and we all are a mini God on this planet. Then trust me, you will be very surprised as to how powerful your imagination can get you to living a massively successful life full of abundance. Now, let's talk about why men fail. A lot of us, when we start the moment we start of venturing something, we fail. Many of us are scared of failure. Now, with what I'll be telling each and every one of us today, if you are able to grasp the message I'm about to pass today, and trust me, guys, you will never fail ever again in your life. You will not see failure as a negative thing. Now, and you will no longer be scared of failure because it doesn't exist. It's just in your mind. So why do men fail? The reason men fail is because men lack the understanding of who they are. Many of you out there, you don't, the reason why you are where you are, the reason why you're feeling stuck, the reason why it's as if you're not moving forward is because you lack the understanding of who you are. And you are not even aware that you are a child of God. I'm not a pastor, I'm not here to preach, but there are certain facts I know about myself. There are certain knowledge that I stand strong on. And my ability to be aware of this knowledge makes me powerful. Now, you listening to me right now, you are a child of God. You have God's DNA in you. God created us in his own image and likeness. The difference between us and pig is our mind. So meaning God, everything in God is in us. So meaning we have God's DNA in us. Yes, you heard me right. You have God's DNA in you. You are a child of God and you are made of God. Now, if God created you, that means God can create. Now, if we are all God's, it means we all carry God's DNA. And that is why it makes us a mini God, a daughter or a son of God, the Most High. Yes. So if God can create, that means we too can do what? Create. Because we are made in his image and what? In his likeness. Just like the Bible said, truly I tell you, if anyone says to the mountain, throw. If anyone says to the mountain, go, throw in yourself into the sea. I can't remember the verse. And does not doubt. Once you say go, throw in yourself into the sea and have no doubt in your heart, as no doubt in your heart, believe me, whatever you say will happen. And that is why in the Bible Jesus said, even if your faith is as small as a mustard seed, you can actually move mountains. Whatever you say, speak with your mouth. Whatever you can think and create in your mind and speak it out, prophesy it with your tongue. Because many of us don't know how powerful our tongue is. Prophesy it with your tongue can become a reality. So how do you operate? Now, how do you operate in the nature of God? How do you operate in God's DNA? How do you allow God's DNA to review and make manifestation in your life? Now, just like many of us, if you look at you as an individual, you look at your parents, you see a resemblance of either your father or your mother. That's the DNA. When you give birth to a child, you see your resemblance or that of your wife on your child. That's a DNA, because you left a part of you went to that child. Now, a part of God is in us. Now, let's talk about how to operate in the nature of God, in the DNA of God. Because when a child is born, he collects the traits of his parents. Now, we were created by God. Therefore, the traits, the nature, the DNA of God is all in us. Now, number one, how do you operate in the nature of God? Number one, listen, you have to eliminate fear. Guys, do you hear me? You have to eliminate fear. Now, how do you eliminate fear? You eliminate fear by faith. Seek understanding in those areas where you are scared of. You must seek understanding. Now, faith is your ability to call forth things that were. Faith is your ability to call forth things that were not as though they were. And that is why you see fear and ignorance. Fear and ignorance is the devil's playing ground. Once you're scared of something or you are ignorant of something, your mind becomes the devil's playing ground, because the devil will play you so, as in use you like a tool. In fact, this thing happened in my family. I lost my dad last year, October. I don't want to go into details, but we discovered that a lot of things that happened last year in my family, we lost our granddad, we lost our dad at the same time. A lot of things that happened in our family was as a result of ignorance, and the devil was playing on our ignorance. We were not conscious of where we were coming from, of the kind of power that was besieged in our family, in our bloodline, and because of our ignorance, the devil played on it. So, guys, fear and ignorance is the playground of the devil. Fear feeds on time. Fear feeds on ignorance. So the only way to conquer is by taking action on seeking knowledge and executing on the knowledge. You seek for knowledge, become conscious of the knowledge, and execute on the knowledge. And trust me, guys, You eliminate fear. Number 2 is what? Eliminate doubt. Now, your ability to eliminate doubt puts faith in operation. Now, eliminate doubt means fear operates with the power of knowledge. Let me repeat that. For you to eliminate doubt, you know that faith operates with the power of knowledge. The only way you can have faith is when you are knowledgeable of something, knowledgeable of the nature of God in you, knowledgeable of the Spirit of God, the DNA of God in you, knowing where you came from and knowing who you are. You are made of God. So you need to eliminate doubt. Faith operates with the power of knowledge. Now, faith is the substance, just like Steve Covey will say, faith is the substance of things yet on. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Yeah. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things yet unseen. That's what Steve Covey, that's his definition of faith, and it's in the Bible. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. You created it in your mind and you hope for it. And it's the evidence of things yet unseen. Meaning God has created that, put in your mind. So it's your duty to make it a reality. Evidence of things yet unseen. That's what faith is. So the third factor there is what? You need to use your imagination to create the kind of life you want. Guys, whatever life you want to live today, if you can't see it here, you can't have it in your hand. Whatever kind of thing you want to achieve today, if you want to become a successful medical doctor, you need to see yourself being a successful medical doctor. If you want to become a successful business owner, you need to see yourself. You need to paint that picture. Importance of vision board. Guys, let me teach you something. Once you're done writing down your goal, the next thing is go to the internet, go online, look for pictures that represent the fulfillment of your goal. Get a board and state them. Now, remember, I taught us last week on how to set goals on 7 areas of your life. Get a vision, get pictorial representative of the manifestation of what you want into fulfillment. Have a board for them. So use your imagination to create the kind of life you want. And the fourth is what? Think of others. That's the fourth thing. The 4 ways on how to operate in the nature of God in you. Number 1, eliminate fear, eliminate doubt, use the power of imagination. Use your imagination to create the kind of life you want. And the last but not the least, guys, is what? Think of others. Service to others is service to yourself. Your level of contribution in life is directly proportional to the wealth life is going to give to you. This is what El Nightingale said. And Jim Rohn summed it up by saying, the more people you help in life, in return, life will give you what you want. So guys, it's a basic principle, and successful people understand this. When you switch from thinking about yourself only and start thinking of others, when you switch from thinking about yourself and start helping others and start impacting others, that day, that moment you start thinking of others, you've started living a life of significance. You've started living in God's nature. Now, when you connect to the nature of God in you, the DNA of God in you, it's at that point you switch from thinking of yourself to thinking of others, how to impact others, how to empower others, how to help others. Now, you are not in competition with anybody. When you see other people succeeding in life, it's because they've tapped into their God's nature. They've tapped into their God's DNA. So don't be envious of them. Admire them. Then you, on your own part, tap into God's nature in you and walk in God's DNA in you. Okay? So if you focus on succeeding just by yourself, creating wealth or doing anything for yourself, trust me, you won't succeed far in life. So those of you listening to me right now, whatever area of business you're doing, endeavor or career, focus on helping people. Don't make it about yourself. Now, even if you're not interested in succeeding or you don't want to become wealthy for yourself, become wealthy for others. Make money, struggle in your business, succeed for others, empower others. The reason why many of us are not working so hard, the reason why many of us are not succeeding in life is because we are selfish. The moment you understand what it means to be selfless in serving others, that moment you start living in God's nature in you. So stop being selfish, quit being selfish. Even if you don't want to succeed for yourself, then succeed for others. Succeed for others. Work smart in succeeding for others. Work hard and smart in succeeding for others. A lot of people are looking up to you. A lot of people's destiny are tied to you. But because you refuse to do the needful, because you refuse to work hard to succeed in your area, then guess what? You are tying down someone else's future. And trust me, it's a sin. You heard me? It's a sin. So you need to do what? You can, you must, and you will struggle to succeed so as to help others in life, so as to lift others up, because you can only rise by lifting others. That's a principle of nature that attracts abundance and wealth. So guys, after today, you don't need to fear again. After today, with what I've told you, your awareness that you have God's DNA in you, you have the nature of God in you, and your awareness that knowledge, having faith to call forth things that were not as though they were, having knowledge of who you are of God, you are made of God, you are a God on this earth, you have God's DNA, you have the nature of God in you. Eliminate doubt, eliminate fear, use imagination to create, and also the last but not the least, think of others. So don't think that other people are better than you. They were able to tap into their own God's DNA, just like I said before. So guys, this is the time, this morning, connect to God's nature in you, connect to God's DNA in you, seek for knowledge, seek for skill, learn those skills, execute on the knowledge and the skills that you've learned for yourself. Then guys, trust me when I say you will become powerful and you will become unstoppable, and that is the true nature of God's nature in you. So guys, don't just be an ordinary person in this life. Don't just pass through this experience called life as an ordinary person. Be special, because you are special. You are extraordinary, and all it takes to become an extraordinary person is just a little bit extra effort. Okay guys, so live your life today with knowledge. Live your life in the knowledge of who you are. You are made of God, you have God's nature in you, and you're a God in this world. Small letter G. Always have that in mind. So guys, walk in the knowledge of God's nature in you. Walk in the knowledge of the DNA of God in you. Congratulations guys, and welcome to the world of success. Have a great and wonderful day. Love you all. Remember, I'll keep rooting for you. Welcome to the Alpha Lion tribe. Now, if you are new to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button so that you receive all notifications, and do well. If you receive value, if the value you receive has blessed you, please bless someone's life by sharing this video to at least nothing less than 10 persons. Share it on your Facebook, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Twitter, all social media. Okay, until we see you in our next episode, love you all and remain blessed. Love you.